Welcome to Pop Pod Weekly. My name is Anna.
Hi guys, it's Becca.
We are here. We have a mixed bag of things to talk about.
Yes, yeah, it's a surprise bag. You know when you go to a store and you're a kid and
Yeah.
you can get
And you can just get a random treat because we have been going through it. We've been having our own personal dramas this week.
oh, so many personal dramas.
So many personal dramas, guys.
I know most people think we're perfect.
But we're not. So anyway, we've been going through it's rough. We've had some family stuff. We've had some, I don't know. It's just everything. There's so much going on. There was there was a hurricane.
Yeah, there's a hurricane.
Toss a hurricane in there where school is closed for 2 days.
Badass B, Fiona came in.
Yeah, Fiona came in and shook it up. And so we were out of power, didn't have school. And there was just a lot going on. So now we're kind of trying to pull our shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will. Don't worry about us.
We've got juice. We are going to pull it together. And it's not, we're not going to talk about our own juice yet. We will eventually. Actually, we're having 2 of our friends on next week. So
yes. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't done a good juicy self.
Oh my God. There's this TikTok trend that I'm obsessed with where, is it the Nicki Minaj song? She's like, one thing about me, I'm the baddest around. And then she goes on. But now people have been using that background sound and they've been like, one thing about me is when I was 13, I had it. And they've been telling these hilarious stories. So I have been watching them nonstop and I really want to do one for my breakup, my epic. I've had so many epic breakups. And if you haven't listened to us on their weekend roundup and heard, I think I told 1 or 2 of my epic breakup stories, but all my breakups are epic because apparently I'm emotionally dysregulated.
One of the things we found out. No, I think you told one of them, but did you tell Anna went to a charity event?
No, we did tell that one. There's a whole episode.
Okay,
you have to listen to the weekend roundup if you want to hear about a charity event gone wrong.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell one thing about me. When I was 19, I met this guy, and then I was going to talk about when I met my boyfriend of 7 years.
Yes.
And I'm just going to tell you guys a story because pull on up a stool. It's story time.
It's a surprise bag.
I've already told this story 100 times, but it's actually, there's so many parts of the story that I just tell little parts of it.
Okay.
There's layers to the story. So just the basic layer is I met this guy. He's really cute. I actually still think he's really cute. When I think back, I'm like, oh, what an angel.
Oh, such an angel.
Such an angel.
Yeah.
Except for he did so many horrible things to me. But an angel and a devil. But we understood
Everyone
that.
just starts as a baby.
So
trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. And he was super shy. And I was the opposite of shy.
All male high school? No, okay.
Actually.
Because didn't he go to a Catholic high school?
Yeah, didn't they wear a uniform?
And I feel like Catholics like to divide genders.
Maybe he did, actually. Good call. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, because my husband went to an all-male school.
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like that's not good.
No, you need some female energy.
Exactly.
We don't need your energy.
No, we don't need you
need
guys.
Ours. So... yeah, and then we dated, and it was wild because I was really out of control.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard of this boyfriend, you sent me a video, and it had to come through the computer. I think it came
I didn't
on,
even have a computer in university, guys. I'm actually an elder.
Yeah, no, I don't even know how you got.
He
the
had
video
a computer
to
though.
Me. Okay,
but I think it's because he was from Oakville and they had more money than people from Halifax.
Probably. Anyways, the video was him eating a phone book. He put his head in.
Classic college follies.
It was such a classic call. You guys were in a dorm room and the phone book was open, but you know how when you open a book, all the pages are little rainbows, whatever. And he's put his head in it and just went nutso, and then all the pages were ripping, and I was like, oh my God, it's so wild and crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. So that was life. So anyway, I want to do this TikTok where I say one thing about me is this guy, and then because it just the timeline of how long it can take to break up with someone.
Yeah.
Then we would take summers off and go to our own houses, and he lived in Ontario and I lived in Halifax, and then we would just do our own thing for the summer, but then never talk about it.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I did my own thing, but then it backfired because then he really started doing his own thing.
Wait, when you say doing your own
just
thing.
like making out with people if I felt the need.
Yeah, yeah. I call it sometimes
just making
slip on
out.
a banana peel.
Nothing. No, there was no bananas. Just making out.
Okay.
So, and then we would so once university was over, we stayed together for some odd reason. And then he decided he wanted to be like, he started getting into like the electronic music scene and was like a DJ, and all of a sudden like grew into a supermodel. Cause like a boy can change a lot from like 18 to like 22.
Yes. Well, he always had the bone structure.
Yeah, and he has really nice teeth. He's giving Pete Davidson vibes.
Totally.
Big
very
teeth, skinny,
tall.
He ended up getting tattoos throughout our relationship, but he didn't. When I met him, he was a precious angel and didn't have any. But then he had all kinds.
Then he did get one really bad tattoo.
Oh yeah, then he got a really bad tattoo. Oh my gosh. So then that needs to be in the story. So then once we graduated from university, he started going off the rails and like partying it up. And I was like, girls would be like calling my house because this is also like kind of before cell phones.
Yeah.
I didn't get a BlackBerry, I don't think, till I moved back to Halifax in 2006.
Yeah, that's about right.
So literally people were calling the home line being like, is Andrew there? I'm just going to say his name, guys. You'll never find him. And
it's his most common name.
Yeah. Is Andrew there? And I'd be like, who the fuck is this? And then I would just like throw phones at his head.
They'd be like, is this Andrew's mom?
Yeah. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm 22. So anyway, then that went downhill. Then one day he like disappeared and I was like, where is he? So I like went to his friend and I was like, where is he? Like, I'm so done. Like, why is he disappearing? And they were like, he is in town. And I was like,
oh my God.
Great. So then
was this in Ottawa still?
Yeah. Okay. So then I got so mad.
He is in town, but we're not telling you where. It's like a scavenger hunt.
So I was like, okay, this is the last straw. So I went home. I was a little bit tipsy because I was a bartender. And I think I was like running amok down the streets, talking to people, trying to figure shit out. Went home, packed up all my shoes, all my clothes, put them in boxes, went to the post office. I don't know if it was a 24-hour post office or if I just was up all night. Mailed them.
So down to business.
Yeah, went home, went to sleep, woke up. Worst hangover from hell when you realize you mailed all your clothes to a different province.
You really have to commit.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, fuck, now I have to move home.
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't have any stuff.
Yeah, you're like, Mom, can you
and I'm not
return to sender?
Yeah, so I was like, quit my job, move home. And then I'm like, screw you, boyfriend, you're done. You lost your chance.
Yeah.
And then...
But did we ever find out where he was in the city, but he was just MIA? He was probably at like a 5-day rave.
He was probably like partying it up with like his new best friend who... Remember, we actually talked about this on the roundup. Remember, then I realized it all came full circle because the girl that kept calling's name was Shay.
Yes.
And my firstborn
is named Shay.
Like, I don't know. I should hate that name, but I was like, Shay's a great name.
It's
like not remembering the first person that ever made me mad.
Yeah, she was probably an SHAY.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then, so anyway, he was probably hanging out with Shay. So random. So then
was Shay sounds like she was a DJ.
Oh, she was like really like club kid, like really cool haircut, cool clothes, like the type that would wear like a glove.
Yeah.
Like
what was her haircut?
She had bangs.
Babe?
Yeah.
She had bangs.
The opposite of me. I was just like, ugh. Anyway. So then I went home, moved to Halifax with you, and then who comes crying along?
Posy.
He's like, I'm going to move to Halifax. I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, sure.
Sure. You know, we had already been together like 4 or 5 years at this point. So I was like, okay, fine, come to Halifax. Comes to Halifax. And then as soon as he gets here, starts doing worse things than he was doing in Ottawa.
Yes, yeah.
Like he had girlfriends, maybe boyfriends, because people were telling me that too. He left at Christmas, said he was going to his mom's house in Oakville for Christmas, Then I called his mom and I was like, can I talk to Andrew? Just want to say like Merry Christmas. Yeah. My boyfriend of 5 years. Yeah. Like, can you imagine life before cell phones?
I know. It's so weird.
Yeah. And she was like, he's not here. I went to pick him up at the airport and he never came.
I know. What annoyed me about him too is he also did the same thing to his mom. It's like, you can at least tell your mother what you're doing. Get your
shit together.
Yeah.
So then I guess he was in Newfoundland.
Yes.
With this other girl.
Yes.
And we all had mutual friends. So people knew this other girl, which actually made it even more scary because then I could figure out who she was. And I think I found her on MySpace.
Right.
Because he was on MySpace.
Yes.
I was on MySpace.
Yeah. We were all on
This
MySpace.
is before Facebook, people. Then Facebook came like the next year.
Yeah.
I think Facebook started in 2008.
But Facebook was like kind of lame when it first came. Like MySpace was definitely cooler.
Yeah.
And then eventually everyone just switched over to Facebook.
So anyway, I really hated that girl. Like really bad.
Well, of course. She stole your boyfriend.
Yeah. And it was so weird because then he went there for Christmas.
Yes. And then when did he get the tattoo?
Then he came back and I picked him up from the bus station like a weirdo. Like I should have been like, walk home in the snow, bitch. But I was like, I'm coming. I'm like, how long?
Like, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah.
What? You're Khloe. No.
Yeah, I'm so Khloe at this point. So then I go. I already had a new boyfriend too, kind of.
Yeah. You weren't sitting at home
I'm all
crying.
about tit for tat. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I was crying, but
you weren't sitting at home.
Yeah, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I'm beginning to realize that this is my problem, is that I never let things lay.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, like just with like all of our diagnosis with the kids of like, you know, ADD and all these different like learning about our family history and about our mental health and getting assessments. It's like impulse control and like.
Yes.
So anyway, I was completely impulsive. So I would not ever sit home and be like, you know, when people break up and they're like, I went through a breakup and I just laid in bed watching movies. It's like, I went through a breakup and I just like burned the entire city down.
Exactly. You were like, no one will sleep. Nobody will sleep.
No one, literally. You will hear me banging on your door at all hours of the night.
But wait, so you pick him up at the bus station. So were you like, where the fuck were you? Because I know you weren't at home for Christmas, Andrew.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so this person, now it's all coming together because remember he did a DJing gig in Newfoundland and he said I couldn't come?
Yes.
Because he was sleeping on someone's couch?
Yes.
And I was like, well, I didn't really want to come, but I'm asking to come because I don't trust this situation. Yes. So anyway, so that's when he met. And then, because I remember picking him up from that DJing gig and I was like, did you just do meth or something? Because he was like flying high on something.
Yeah, he was really into his addiction at this point.
And we don't know to what.
To what? No. Something ain't right.
Yeah, we didn't ask questions. We were just like, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, one thing we did do is never stop loving him.
Yeah, we loved them. We just loved the heck out of them.
We just loved the heck out of them because at this point we were all living together. So everyone, I was living with my sister and her boyfriend essentially.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's why I was so involved. Because I was like, guys, stop fighting.
Yeah. So then.
No, you guys actually wouldn't really fight. It was like.
No, he's not a fighter. I've never heard him raise his voice.
No, it was just him constantly doing sketchy things and us just being
me being like, come on.
Yeah.
I was fighting. I was like throwing things at him and he was not talking.
Yeah.
He was nonverbal.
He was nonverbal.
So then he came back from Christmas and I was like, that wasn't cool. And I have a new boyfriend now, so screw you. Yes. But we lived together. So we kept living together. And then the girl called the house and they were like, we're going traveling to Colombia together.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, have fun.
I can't believe, like, obviously
we lived together. Literally, we shared a bed as this was happening.
Well, I remember you came home from bartending one night and you got so mad because there was 2 glasses of like what?
Obviously, like he had a date at our house.
Someone had just been there drinking 2 glasses of wine. Yeah, it was like 2 empty glasses of wine.
Yeah, I was like, bitch, you came to my actual house.
Yes,
and had a little glass of wine, like
yeah.
don't you find it awkward that you're in my house?
Yes.
Our house. At that point, we were the only two that lived there.
Yes. Yeah. Because that was when I had left at that point.
That was
mouse
the
infested.
worst apartment ever.
Yeah.
So then he went to Colombia and then he came back and he's like, home.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I have a new apartment now. Like a single bachelor pad, not a 1-bedroom, like a no bedroom.
Yes.
What are those things called? Bachelor pads?
Studio? No.
Bachelor pads.
You're like, I've got.
They're called a bachelor apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So no bedroom. Like you walk in and the bed is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'm home and need to get my stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't even live.
You're like I danced on your iPad.
Yeah. I was
it's
like,
broken.
I burnt a lot of your stuff and I threw all your artwork. I threw all your artwork out the window.
I forgot he was a painter.
Rightly so, though. Someone goes away on a romantic vacation when you live together.
Yeah. It's like, damn right I burned your shit.
Yeah. So, actually, I remember one painting went to like a party girl upstairs.
Right. And I feel like we had a painting of it.
I think I liked one. I was like,
there was one with hot pink.
I was like, this one I do actually like, so I'm keeping it.
Yeah. I think we had one. You had one of them we had one for a while.
Yeah. So then he came home and I was like, okay, like, are we getting back? Like, what's happening? And then
keep coming back.
You keep coming back. So we like went out to dinner. Like, this is the cringiest. This is Khloe energy to the max. Like, we went out for dinner and then like hung out. I'm like, I should have just not talked to him.
No. Yeah.
And then he had a new tattoo of the girl's name.
Right. That was it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow, really like your new tattoo.
What a stupid
situation. So then I was like, obviously, like, okay, like,
and I wonder if the new,
go away.
Yeah,
but I was
if
crying.
The new girlfriend knew that he was every time he'd come back to Halifax, he was like, "Where are the sisters? I'm going to stay with the sisters." That's what happened
because then he was like, I was like really upset by then. And I was just like, actually, like, I'm so sad. Like, I was crying because this is like year 7. So I was like.
Did he show you the tattoo or did you? No, you definitely probably just caught a glimpse and was like, Andrew.
I feel like he showed it to me.
Okay.
But not close up.
Because he's also the type to not say anything.
Yeah. I don't freaking remember. But anyway, so then, and I got a tattoo too, but not with someone else's name. But I was like, I'm getting a tattoo too because I'm mad. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
Like
our
right around the corner.
Brother.
Yeah, right around the corner from our apartment.
Yeah.
I have a big tattoo on my leg, guys.
Yeah.
So then got my tattoo competition and then he went home and I was like, okay, bye. Like, this is so sad and you're mean and bye and I hate you. Never talk to me again. And then he would send me emails all the time being like, I'm sad, I miss you, love you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't understand. You went to another country, got someone's name tattooed. Like, maybe you should commit to that.
Yeah. Why don't you email her? Yeah.
And then I was just like, and I hate you. Like, I would write like hateful things back.
Yes. Yeah.
And I won't repeat what they say. So then one day I get a message from that girl.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she was like, I just went through his emails and found all the emails that he sent you. And I was like, yeah, well. And she was like, can I call you? And she called mom and dad's house because, of course, it was all landlines.
Oh, my God. This is so much work.
I know. So she called the house and then we talked and I was like, yeah, he's a lying asshole. And while you guys were dating, we were still living together and sleeping in the same bed and
having sex whenever I felt like
it. And then I was just like, blah, blah, blah. He said you were stupid. I think I just made it.
Like, and actually, truly, he never said a bad word about her, but you're just like,
he said you're just a stupid side piece and that you're really boring. Doesn't like you. Anyway, and then she was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, have fun with that. 'Cause she was at his house when she was
in Oakville.
Then she was living with him and his mom and his 2 brothers who were very sweet too.
Yes, they are. And his mom's very sweet.
Yeah. So then, then I was just like, okay, this is actually, I remember after that phone call, I was like, I'm actually officially done because I don't have time to be like doing these landline meetings, and he's fucked.
Yeah. And at that point,
like then I actually didn't feel jealous anymore. So I think I was over it.
Yeah.
Because at first I was jealous because I was like, they're in love and they have tattoos. And then when he was emailing me and then she was like,
also calling you, you're like, I'm a little too involved for them to be in love.
Then I was like, okay, this isn't actually, I'm not like envying this relationship at all. I'm already like 6 months deep into another extremely fucked up relationship. So I've got to go.
You're like, I've got to deal with some other current problems.
Yeah, I've got another nonverbal
boyfriend
with a lot of problems.
Thank God you married David, who's
very verbal.
Very verbal. Because you didn't do well with the non-verbals. No.
It's a one-way conversation going nowhere. Yep. So anyway, that I was going to try to stuff that into one thing about me, but it might be too long.
Yeah.
But now I don't need to. I just told you guys. Maybe I'll just fast forward that.
You've got it off your chest. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing about me, guys, is but we keep saying like I'm being a Khloe because the new season of the Kardashians came out. Mm-hmm. I have to take my sweater off so you can talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the new season came out. I was just watching some of the clips. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I'm just having such a hard time getting any emotions revved up inside about Khloe. I don't know if it's because I think also with the Kardashians in general, I'm feeling like a lot of it is like a lot of the things that they actually did truly happen, but the clips we're seeing are them almost redoing a real scene. Did I explain that correctly?
I know
like something happened and then
they're like recreating it for TV.
Yes.
I think the thing that I'm actually enjoying it because
how do you watch it?
Just on TikTok, I watch clips.
Yeah,
you can watch entire shows on TikTok at this point, guys.
That's how I watch it too. Okay, yeah.
But I might actually get Hulu because...
Okay, is that what it's on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I'm kind of... Well, I probably relate to Khloe because of all my history.
Yes, yeah.
But the other thing is I'm just listening to... Like, I was actually surprised that she didn't sugarcoat it.
Yes.
So that I appreciate it because I totally thought they'd be like, you know... how they sugarcoat Scott, how they sugarcoat, even Lamar got sugarcoated.
Yeah, Lamar did.
Like they never talked about, like Khloe never openly cried about that during the marriage.
And they always left us hanging with like Lamar. It was always like bad stuff happened. I'm like, what bad stuff? Like they're always like in that house, but they would never like
say
really
what
go
happened.
into it. Yeah.
But in this one, they all are legit trashing Tristan.
Well, I mean,
but like that's not Kardashian-ish.
I know.
You know how they let every dad haven't talked to Astro World. They haven't talked about anything Travis Scott. They never talked about the fact that Kylie was a minor when she started dating Tyga. Like they brush everything under the carpet.
Yes, they do.
But so she's like, yeah, I'm really like, they were like, Tristan tricked Khloe. They're like openly saying that, and that's just so not like them.
Well, I'm glad that they're saying that at least because Tristan,
like Kylie was like, I'm actually feel like he tricked her because it showed the sisters talking and they were saying. So if you guys don't watch the Kardashians, basically on the last season we find out that Tristan, who is Khloe's boyfriend and they have one child together, fathered a son without Khloe knowing. So he got his personal trainer pregnant and then he tried to deny it.
Oh, I didn't realize it was his personal trainer.
She was a personal trainer. So that's like, I think
this is the Marilee girl or Marilee.
I don't know her name, but
okay.
So they started like, and this is after he's already cheated on Khloe a bunch of times. But obviously when you get someone pregnant and have a child with someone, that's like the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah. Because it's like you can't even have the slightest bit of uncomfortability by just putting on a condom.
Right. And like the thing is too, it's like she's probably like, he ruined her birth with True. And Chris talks about this too. Like, I want you to have like a good pregnancy. I want you to enjoy the birth this time. Because last time, like while Khloe was in labor, it was coming out that he was like partying with girls and sleeping with girls.
Yes.
And there was pictures and everything.
Yeah.
So she didn't even want him in the birth room. But of course, she's Khloe. So she's always like, you know, I don't want to ruin this for him. She's very like codependent.
Oh, she did it for him? I thought she did it for True.
I think she did it for both of them. But she said she didn't want him to miss it either.
As if he even cares. I don't mean to be
I know,
rude,
but I think he's a fame whore, to be honest, because he always shows up. Like, he has other children that he does not show up for.
Exactly.
So it's like, so that's why people like, I think the girls. So anyway, he ends up showing up. Kim's all mad at him and won't like talk to him at the birth of True. But
I remember that. I like this.
So it's like, now is your chance to suck up.
Yes.
But he doesn't suck up. He keeps cheating. The Jordan Woods things happen where he makes out with the baby sister's best friend. Yeah. And then he gets someone else pregnant with a son. Come to find out, as Khloe says, Khloe was like, okay, let's rebuild the trust. Yeah. They were getting back together. She thought their relationship was going in a completely different direction. And she was like, they had embryos. So that's actually like sperm and egg already created. Yeah. And they got a surrogate because of course they can't have babies because that would mess up with their skinniness.
Of course. They've spent too much on the bodies. Yeah.
Yeah. So they found a surrogate and he was like really encouraging it, but he already knew he had another baby on the way.
What a fucking psycho.
So she's like, obviously I would not. And like the fact that she said this, no, I feel like this is not like her either to say like, because she already has a son now, that son is born. So after the fact to say like, I would not have done this had I known. Yeah. I feel like that's really honest.
That is really honest.
And hard to say. Because normally people, when it comes to their kids, they're like, doesn't matter how it happened. All that matters is that
like when people get divorced, they're always like, but it was still a blessing because you have your babies.
Yeah, exactly. Like she was like, I obviously wouldn't have had another child with him. Yeah. If I knew he was doing this.
Yes. Yeah. But how? Okay. So this is just what I do. This is where I'm just like, yeah, but how would you think he's not doing that?
I know. Well, that's what she said. She's like, I feel really stupid. She's like, I feel stupid. She's like, I'm mostly mad at myself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just time to, like, I've had friends that I know what happens. That people treat you like shit and you try to get over it. I know.
One thing about me. I
have friends.
I gave them 20 chances.
Yeah, minimum. I know. I actually completely forgot about the Jordan Wood thing. And I love how they just made out. Yeah, right.
Because that's what professional basketball players
like to do. They just like a Frenchie. That really gets them off.
Yeah, they just made out. So anyway, she's talking about that, which I thought was really honest. But like she clearly, she let him come for the birth of that too. But she was like, I can't. I think the one thing I'm giving really her is like, you know, just there's things that you just can't get back. So I get where she's just kind of like, just do it now. Because like, you would never want your son in the future to be like, why didn't you even let my dad be there when I was born? You know, it's more like for your kid.
Yeah. The coming of the birth, I'm like, that sounds
of course Tristan
normal.
Wanted to be there. Why?
Yeah, he didn't want to be there.
Like you weren't there for the birth of your other sons.
You threatened the mother of your other son.
Yeah, saying that you were not that
you were going to quit basketball and she was going to be poor and a deadbeat mom and he would end up and he was going to be a deadbeat dad. So get an abortion now, you bitch, is essentially what he said to her. Yeah,
exactly.
And that came out like so this was all coming out.
That was coming out at the end of season 1 of the Kardashians, like season 1 being like their new Hulu show, because that was when Kim was like in the gym and being like, oh my God, I'm reading the statement from Tristan, where at first he denied it. Yes. But I think they were reading the statement where he was like, happy to be introducing my son. And Khloe didn't even know.
What an idiot.
And she had just like 2 days prior, like implanted embryos in a surrogate.
I think Tristan has to be just about the worst celeb partner we've seen. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's what like all the sisters are saying. And like they were talking and like they were like, Khloe doesn't cry or talk about it. And you can tell Khloe's like literally put up like she's like has trauma.
Yeah.
Because at one point Chris is crying, her mom, and is like, I don't want you to miss out on like these like precious moments
being a
because
mom.
you're stressed or like, you know, you can't, and this is a second birth that you won't get back.
Yeah. And that you can't enjoy.
Yeah. And so she was crying, and Khloe's like, why are you crying? Like, stop.
Oh my God, Khloe has so many
but
issues.
I think she's just like,
with a family with that much money, can we not get some really high quality therapy going?
I know. And she also has like, she's a spokesperson for migraine medication. And I'm like, no wonder you have a migraine.
Yeah.
Get rid of Tristan.
I have a stress headache. She must have like, stress migraine.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So it's like, anyway, but then, and there was another part where Kim was talking to Khloe, and she was like, you look really skinny right now. And of course, Khloe's like, thank you. And she's like, Kendall and Kylie actually called me, and they're like worried. I know. And she looked so happy.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, she was like beaming.
So
she was
sad.
like, really?
She was
like, says Kendall, the model.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's probably not eating, because can you imagine the stress level?
Oh no. I remember when I've got my heart broken twice.
Oh yeah. I lost a lot of weight during the time that, I was, you know, having an on again, off again boyfriend.
I actually looked, when I broke up with my now husband, when we had our bad breakup.
But they're together again, guys.
Yeah, and as the weekend roundup says, never give up on that loser boyfriend. They can become your husband.
Yeah, exactly. Not saying you're gonna like it.
I'm not advocating for it, but it psychos do get married. But yeah, I lost a lot of weight, and I remember just the thought of eating, like putting food in your mouth is like repulsive. You're just so brokenhearted that.
Yeah, I remember during that time, it was the Christmas when he wasn't there, and he went somewhere else, and I didn't know where he was.
Yeah,
I remember they were like handing out like chocolates at work for like Christmas, and I was like looked at it, and I was like, that like I couldn't even picture.
Yeah,
eating that.
Yeah,
like that. It looked like awful to me.
Yeah,
but don't worry, guys. I made it.
Yeah,
made it back up to my fighting weight.
Yeah, we both bounced back.
Yeah. So anyway, one more Kardashian thing. Kanye has erased everything on his Instagram and made his profile pic Chris.
I know.
His
I'm going to look
ex-mother-in-law.
at that now.
I'm going to take a picture of this and put it on Instagram now, so you guys can tell me what you think.
What the hell's that all about?
I don't know.
What's he got a cooking?
It's just an art piece.
Yeah, I love it.
That's one thing about when you're an artist, you can just chalk everything up to it being an art piece.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a statement.
Oh, it's definitely a statement. Yeah. I wonder, he's so funny when he's not being abusive. Is Britney still, did you see that Britney came back too?
I can't believe for like the first time, I never thought I would say this, but I actually have not been following Britney very much because I can't keep up. But
it's getting a bit, I don't want to say boring because this is someone's life, but it's getting
Khloe.
A bit, aw, her baby. Oh, okay. So those little blankets are universal. Those cute little newborn blankets. Oh, that's so mean. And it just showed me, you know, how Instagram loves the comparison of Kylie before
and Kylie after. And then the headline is, always remember, you're not ugly, you're just broke.
Yeah. Which is,
I already knew that.
Which is true. Yeah. Which is exactly true. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Britney. Yeah, it's getting a bit repetitive. And
well, I just don't like to see her fail, and she puts her foot in her mouth, and then it makes me mad.
I know. So, but she is back. But
she deleted. She had written something really wrong.
I know.
At one point. I didn't even understand what that was about.
I read it. It was just more of the same.
Wasn't it like that she hates the industry and
Yeah, pretty much. And that she'll never work in it again, which I don't think she should.
No, don't. She shouldn't. If she doesn't have to and she's got enough money, don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. What else? Okay, so we keep telling you guys to watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
It's really good.
And you got to, it's very good if you have any kind of family stuff too, because I just love like the sister dynamic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate Lisa Rinna with a passion.
Wow.
And I know, wow, you're so mad.
Angry.
That's so gaslighting. That's what she does to anyone who gets mad. She's like, she told Kathy she had a black heart.
I know.
She's like, you got to find out what's going on with that black heart of yours. I'm like, no one, that's not positive. That's not, you're not having a conversation with someone when you tell them they have a black heart.
Okay. My favorite part about Kathy is that she was wearing that piece shirt when she was in Aspen.
And that's such cheap material. I'm like, girl, get a better t-shirt.
Her boobs looked horrible, and I know that look.
Yeah. Like, I have a t-shirt like that, and I've retired it to only wearing it to bed because it's so flimsy.
And then we found out it belonged to Alexia, Kyle's daughter, because she was like, I'm still wearing the t-shirt. And I'm like, Kathy is just so interesting.
She's very interesting. She definitely, the most hilarious thing is she got in a rage and ran out of the club because A, they wouldn't play Billie Jean.
Yes.
And B, they wouldn't do a Congo line.
I know.
So she wanted to pump Billie Jean, Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, and do a Congo line around this like private nightclub.
Yes.
And no one wanted to do it. And so she was like, flew into a rage and left.
And called the DJ the F word.
Yeah.
An old F word is what she called them.
Yeah. And then yelled at Kyle. I mean, I get why she's yelling at Kyle. I'm sorry. As a big sister.
Yeah.
Kyle's never coming when she's calling.
I know. Kyle.
She's stormed out of like 10 places right now and has not been chased once.
I know. I'm like,
no wonder she's breaking down.
Yeah. I'm like, sometimes I almost feel like Kyle
is a sabotager.
Yeah. Like
she's sabotaging her big sis, and I don't appreciate it.
Kyle needs to pick. Like, Kyle keeps...
Pick your sister.
Yeah, and she keeps not picking her sister. Even the fact that, like, her sister left. So when they have a talk...
She should have busted in when Lisa Rinna said her sister had a black heart.
I know. That was weird. And how Kyle was just kind of, like, quiet and not really saying anything. And
Kyle's actually going to be dead to her family at this point because Paris Hilton has already put on social media unkind about how they were making fun of her mom all the time. And I agree. Like, Kathy was like, I was super insecure, saying like, you were always criticizing what I'm wearing and making me feel, and I get what she means. Like, people are like, oh my God, that's such bullshit. Or Kyle was like, don't make it about you, so I have to apologize. It's like, no, she's trying to tell you how she slowly built up like an extreme rage towards you. Yeah. You were not having her back and treating her like really not nice.
Well, you were kind of ribbing her. Like, she was
in a new group of friends on TV. I could see how you could be like,
that's the type of thing, like, so yes, this is how I thought of that. That's the type of thing, like, if me, you, and Jamie, like our brother, I remember actually once we went to Tim Hortons and we were like on a ski trip or something, but in your outfit was whack, and Jamie was like, look what Anna's wearing right now, and I don't even remember. I know you had
did
like
I go Kathy?
No, we were just like laughing, and then you came back and you were laughing. But that's like different because it's like the siblings all laughing in private within each other. Yeah. But like if I was with a group of girls that you don't know, because Kathy doesn't know all these girls.
No, and they're all models and actors, and they all wear like Gucci and Louis Vuitton all the time, which Kathy clearly could wear because she's worth like $500 million. Yeah. But for some reason, she doesn't want to waste good clothes on Aspen, which she said a million times.
Well, she also doesn't want to waste them on Beverly Hills because she wore the piece.
Yeah, she wants to be cozy.
I know Kathy wants to be comfortable. Kathy does not care. You can tell.
Yeah, she's like, I will wear something designer to like a gala. Yes. She's like, if we're having a girls' night, I'm going to wear my PJs. She doesn't realize that Dorit's going to show up literally in lingerie.
Yes. And Kathy even said that. Kathy was like, I don't dress when I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, I don't dress like that.
Yeah. So I think that's why she's insecure, because she's like, I'm not fitting in with this group at all.
Yes. And then so Kyle's like snickering and laughing, and they were laughing when she was doing the tequila tasting.
Yeah, they were all in like,
and Kyle,
I don't want freaking stoned Lisa Rinna laughing at me.
No, exactly. And they did a whole thing about her lip line.
Yeah, they did a whole thing about her rosé. They did a wine tasting where they all drank cocktails.
Yeah, and had to listen to Harry talk about how he like.
Yeah, we had a whole thing on his sauce.
Yeah. So I'm just like, everyone else gets to promote their business. Kathy wants to promote her business. Kyle was full on sabotaging that and like giggling.
Yeah.
And she was being very sister-esque. Like I could tell like her sister was trying to be serious and she was like laughing at her. And she was being like an annoying little sister. And that's to the point where you just give her an evil eye and then Kyle's supposed to stop.
Yeah. Like when she was like, stop swearing, Kyle.
I know.
I liked that.
I liked that too. So I feel like Kyle's
fucking herself over. Like her spinoff is not going to work because nobody likes her right now. I'm sorry. People don't like to see you treat your sister shitty on TV.
Yeah.
And your sister's older. Like, and I'm not just saying as an older sister, I know I keep saying this, but like actually older, like in her 60s.
Yeah.
And she's just being rude as hell to her.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, how's that fixing the family? You guys just got over a big fight.
Yes, I know. They didn't talk for like a while.
And I get where Kathy, I get her whole thing, like silence is golden. No, Kyle, I'm the same way. Although I have a podcast and I do spill my dirty laundry. I just did. But I don't like people knowing that there's a riff. So like if me and you weren't doing good, I would never tell that to anyone else because it's too important to me. I wouldn't want to risk it.
Yeah, you don't want other people meddling and trying.
Yeah, so the fact that Kyle is just so openly dissing her sister and just
and it's funny because Lisa Rinna and Erica are so predatory. They are. I think I've said this before, but in Little Mermaid, there's Flotsam and Jetsam, which are like Ursula's little seal or like sea urchin creatures.
Yeah,
they remind me of Flotsam and Jetsam. They're just like evil, and I feel like they know that they can rip the Richards sisters apart. Yeah, because they've done it before, and
they did it with Kim. Kim's not even on the show anymore.
Yeah, and now they have a plan to like rip Kathy and Kyle apart, and Kyle always plays like the martyr, like I'm just trying everything to be like the best sister and the best wife. Yeah, and like they're just, I don't feel like they love me.
It's like, no.
And it's like, Kyle
said you don't answer your phone because you don't want to hear your sister complaining. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's what sisters do.
I know. When she said that, I was like, I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, like exactly. When I call you, answer, bitch.
I know.
Because I got shit to complain about. Then, like Kathy.
Yes, I know. That was so funny when she was like,
she's just complaining. She's never asking, like, how are you today? It's like, that's like, not how sisters work.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just a one-way vent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Then it was funny because what did she say too? Oh yeah, when she was like, Kathy will text me and be like, emergency, need to call you now. And if you can't talk to them, and then they're like, well, no, it's not really an emergency. I'll tell you later. Yeah, exactly. Just tell them that. But I know. And then I thought the final, like last rude thing that Kyle did was when Rinna was over. First of all, she didn't like interject to Rinna at all. Be like,
no, she should have been like, stop.
That's a bit harsh.
I think I saw that coming in the previews, and I hope to God.
Yeah.
Like I saw at one point, Kyle was like, I'm really uncomfortable. Like, what does this have to do with you again?
Yeah. Like, because.
Like, why do you care? Like, why is Rinna here?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Why was she there?
Like, you don't need to tell Kathy she has a black heart and that she needs therapy. Like, you need therapy. Have you seen your children?
Yeah. Have you seen yourself?
Have you seen yourself? Like, you're all pumped full of injections and anorexic.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that pisses me off about Lisa Rinna is that she will not talk about any of her personal stuff.
No.
And I would like to know what goes on in that big dome.
I know. She never talks about her personal stuff.
She's messed up too, and she never talks about it. And that's what I said. I'm not like saying it's bad about the eating disorders in her family. We would like to hear about them and not her just pimping her daughter out and now her daughter's better. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. We saw
now she's
your
dating
daughter.
Scott Disick and like has had more surgery than ever. So
and is naked.
Clearly probably has body dysmorphia.
Yeah, and was naked on Instagram. Remember when Scott would post those pictures of her like in lingerie?
It's so creepy.
Yeah, I'm like, your daughter's 18. Not fine.
No, she's not fine. So, and you're a predator.
Yeah, But then, so anyways, then Kathy leaves and then Kyle and Lisa stay. It was funny because when Kathy went out on the step and she was like, oh my God, the flowers are beautiful, Kyle.
I know. I was like, and then Kyle just like shuts the door. And I'm like, that was Kathy saying, I'm still talking to you.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you, because if Kathy was like,
that was her leaving on a nice note.
Right. Because what she could have done and what they've done in the past is like, I'm cutting you off. I'm never talking to you again. You're not invited to my daughter's wedding. That's literally what happened the other time. So she's just trying to say like, I'm not mad at you, Kyle.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess like it all boils down to like, Kyle isn't the one that said she was going to destroy her family.
Yeah, I know.
Kathy did do bad stuff, but
I think
Lisa can stay out of it. That's my thing.
Exactly.
I'm not all about what Kathy's did. I obviously think that's really bad. And I think Kathy has a lot of issues considering everything Paris has been through. Paris going to like boot camp, being abused. And then in the documentary about it, her mom basically is like, I never knew. I'm like, well, that's a problem.
I know. First of all, any parent who organized to have their child kidnapped in the night
and go into like a boot camp no, Kathy
definitely, they have so much issues. I wish their mother was alive, we got to see her, because it all seems to stem from this mother is
Big
what
Kathy.
they say. Yeah, but I'm like,
and like Nikki Hilton is so much like Kathy. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm staying silent. Silence is golden.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. Like, I know what when she was everyone like when Lisa was like, she's trying to manipulate me saying silence is golden. It's like, no, she's asking you to keep her meltdown private and have some freaking grace, but you won't because you're trash.
Just Erica and Kyle are like doing this like what's it called? What's Days of Our soap? They're like doing this soap opera thing, and I'm like, we don't want it.
No,
Lisa.
and nobody wants it.
Like,
I think Lisa's got to go. I think she's going to get fired.
And I think Erica needs to go too. And did you notice how Erica digged on Kathy? Because they were like, well, Kathy's like old money, and she was like, she married into it just like the rest of us.
I know.
And I'm just like...
And then Diana's like, she doesn't know how to play the game. You have to pay... Or she does know how to play the game, but she doesn't. You have to pay $200.
Get that. Were they saying she should have paid for the Michael Jackson song?
Yeah. They were like, she just needs to... Like, Diana's basically like, if she wants to rule the nightclub, she needs to take out her dollars. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kathy also, like, back to the Paris thing.
Yeah.
So... Paris did a show, Paris in Love, which we talked about a little bit. And... she definitely has issues with her mom too. Like, I think Kathy...
I don't think she has a husband anymore.
I can't imagine.
seen him in any pictures, and he wasn't at Burning Man.
Oh my God, I want to look. He was, oh my God, if anybody, honestly, smoke a huge joint and watch Paris in Love, because it's really good, and just skip through all the stupid, like, boring stuffs. But the stuff with him, like, he is the most annoying person. Like, I was getting... annoyed for her, and you can see she's annoyed.
Already annoyed, and she's not even married,
and they haven't even got married. And in a few episodes she's like cries and is like, I don't really want
I don't think
to.
It makes sense if your husband's never on your Instagram.
No, and he's just so annoying. Like, and he was just such a nerd too. Like, and nerds can be hot, but he wasn't a good one.
Or maybe, is that her husband? No, that's another DJ. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, my husband doesn't have social media, so he's like never on my Instagram really, because there's no point. Like, can't tag him.
Yeah.
But
oh, you don't do those posts that
I don't do posts where I'm like,
the man who made me the happiest woman alive.
I'll just tell him in person, thank you very much.
Exactly. Or I won't.
Exactly. Doth protest too much.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, she never has a man, but I feel like as like a socialite and like a social media person, like if you're really, really, really head over heels for your husband, you do post them.
Well, especially a Paris Hilton. Yeah, exactly.
Because I know people that are influencers that their husbands aren't. I don't know them personally, but I watch, like, for example, like Melissa Wood is like a fitness influencer who is a bit problematic. We can talk about her another time, but she's like supermodel-y influencer, but her husband is like a record producer. He's not attractive. Like, he's definitely not like needs to be on social media, but she'll still post pictures with him, even though he uglies up the picture.
That is so funny.
So it's like she's clearly trying to be like, I feel like she
that's
loves her husband.
love.
Like that's her person,
that's
right?
Her love. So,
just like Dorit and
PK.
You know, you show off your love here and there. So the fact that she is that she never, like even at Burning Man, like wouldn't he be with? She needs to marry someone who's at Burning Man.
No, he's not the Burning Man. He's like the opposite type. And
she needs.
And he's so misogynistic. Like he just came across as he was like, and he always talked to her like she was a baby, and it was so infuriating. Like he talked down to her so much. He'd always be like, baby Paris.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, he'd be like, you can't be DJing. You're gonna be home with your baby.
Ew.
Yeah, Anna, you need to watch it.
And she's trying to get rid of her baby voice, guys. She actually has a really deep voice.
Yeah, and he every time he talked to her, and he'd always kind of like, because Paris does, I really felt for Paris because she's kind of like us in a way where like I can see her scatterbrain.
She has insomnia. She has ADHD.
Yeah, she has a lot of our family triggers. So, and I could really see that in her, and he would kind of like make fun of her for that. And
Not
be
cool.
like, kind of be like, I know you can't do that. And like putting her down, like when it would come to like a guest list or like anything that was like not artistic and maybe like a bit more.
She's not
like,
going to be able to handle that.
But he would talk to her like in such a disrespectful way.
I'm going to watch that. If that's how he talks on TV.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But everything's coded with a, I just love you, baby.
Ew.
And then you're just like, gross.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah. So that's why you kind of need to smoke a joint.
I don't smoke a joint, so I will be skipping that show.
Or maybe you could, maybe just skip it.
Okay, guys, we have to go.
Yes, we do. Oh no, one more thing.
We have a babysitter.
Yeah, we do have a babysitter. We're leaving. One more thing though. Okay, so Meghan Markle has a podcast.
I know.
And a lot of people have been making fun of it. So I was like, okay, I need to listen to it.
Okay.
I listened to the Mindy one from the Mindy Project.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. Mindy I was like almost in tears. She's so, as bachelor word, she lets her walls down. She's so vulnerable. She has kids without a husband. Oh. So she's just like, I never thought this. And just completely is so honest about the fact that like she doesn't have a traditional family and like how sometimes that makes her sad. And like, it's just like Mindy, it was just amazing. I was like, oh my God, this is like not a conversation you hear a lot about.
Yeah.
Like a professional woman that just never settled.
It's like Perez Hilton.
Yes.
Has and 3 kids on his own.
Yes. And it kind of reminded me of Paris. Yeah. Because I'm like, Paris is trying to get that like
she'd be like a great mom.
Yes. And that's what she wanted.
Maybe not meant to have a husband.
But anyways, it was really good. So I recommend Mindy. Meghan is a bit annoying.
That does not surprise me.
But she's not as bad as everyone said. I was like, okay, she's not that bad. But she did say one thing that I was like, Meghan, this is why you piss people off. She was like, Mindy was like, I was never attractive growing up. I was always like, and do you know what Meghan said?
That she was an ugly duckling too?
Yeah, that exact word. She was like, oh, I was always the ugly duckling. Always. And Mindy was like, no. Mindy was like, I can't believe
I'm actually looking at the structure of your face. And it's perfect.
And she was like, I don't believe that. And Meghan was like, God, yes. Yes, Mindy. Yes. Always.
I want proof.
Always. No, and then I actually Googled it while I was listening because I was like, wait a minute. And there is pictures of her in like junior high at like prom. And she looks gorgeous. I mean, she looks crazy because she's the same age as us. So she has like tiny pencil eyebrows and looks whack. But she's gorgeous.
Yeah, lie.
So anyways, all right.
Anyway, love you guys. Bye.